Hey, what is up everyone? Today I'm finally putting together my Heavy-6 right here. When I first got into mechanical keyboards back in around 2018, I've always wanted to own a keyboard from Norbauer, and it's pretty cool to see it finally happening. It's my first time building something exactly like this though, so in this pink box we have a polycarb Heavy-6 housing, and what I'll be doing is taking apart this brand new Topre Leopold keyboard and using its internals to place into our new case here, which is the Heavy-6. Altogether, this was around $900, which is pretty steep, but we'll see if it's worth it after putting everything together. If you are interested in videos like this, you can support the channel for free by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll also be uploading some videos of building my grill keyboards in the next few months, so keep an eye out for that. With that being said, let's put this thing together. First off, let's take a look at this Leopold FC660C. I'm actually quite a big fan of stock Leopold boards. I've used this one full-size board with silent reds at work for just about 3 years or so, and thought that Leopold stock boards are great value for everyday use. Unboxing this board up, you can see I went with a classic off-white and gray keycap set. I decided to go with this option as I thought it would look decent in the Heavy-6, and they kind of reminded me of the IBM Model M board. I considered purchasing caps to replace the stock ones, but I'm personally quite a fan of stock Leopold caps, and didn't want this board to cost more than I already did. Before we get started tearing this board apart, here's a quick sound test of the stock Leopold FC660C. After making sure the board was functional, I went ahead and started to begin the process of taking it apart. The stock case is made from a plastic top and bottom that snaps into place. I started to loosen it up by using the backside of my tweezers and some USB-A housings I had lying around. There are definitely more proper ways of doing something like this, like with those guitar pick looking things that are used for phone repairs, but hey, I work with what I got. I soon realized that the section right above the arrow keys just wouldn't budge, and found out there's a screw right under the quality control sticker that I probably should have taken out first. After the screw was out, I was able to take the case apart. The last thing I needed to do with the stock board was to remove the daughter board, which was mounted with 2 screws. After I removed it, I had everything I needed from this board to put into my Heavy-6. Now comes the moment I've been waiting months for. I finally get to unbox the case. I will have to say that the packaging on this product is impeccable. The first thing I opened up was the product info card, and it was even hand signed by the almighty Ryan Norbauer. The next small box contained all the parts needed to mount the board together, self-adhesive feet for the bottom of the board, and 2 straps I later found out that can be used to store the signature pink box. Lastly, we have the Heavy-6 Urbi × Orbi edition. This was released around Easter Sunday 2021 and was limited to a quantity of 100 units. It's made from a polycarbonate resin with a white powder coated stainless steel rear cover. And it also came with a natural wool acoustic dampener. Before getting started working on the case, I was just too lazy to pull out a desk mat, so I used this Love Life playmat to provide some much needed protection on my work surface. The case construction itself was pretty straightforward as the user. I just needed to remove the 8 screws from the bottom and it opened right up. Looks like I forgot to record it, but the PCB was simply secured to the top of the case with 3 screws on each side. With the standoffs provided in the little parts pouch, I was able to mount the daughter board to the rear cover of the case. Before closing the case, I slid the acoustic dampener into place. After that, I used the screws I removed earlier to mount everything back together. The last thing that was left to do was to add the feet to the bottom. And here we have the completed board. Now it's time to get this thing plugged in and give you all a little sound test. Now the question is, was it worth it? After using this board for the past few weeks as my daily driver, I'm gonna say this board might have just made me a new Topre fanboy. With all of my new keyboard builds, I typically aim to expand the variety of boards I already own, and this Heavy-6 right here has been a completely new experience for me to type on. This board is incredibly simple to build, and the feel and sound of the board is just something that's very different from the boards I own already. Like hitting this spacebar right here, pure bliss. Well, that wraps up for this video here. I hope you enjoyed learning about and hearing this very unique Heavy-6 board right here. In a future video, I'll be building this board that's very special to me. I've been waiting years to put this together. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and hit the notification bell to get notified when this video gets uploaded. Yes, it's the SAT75. Thanks again for watching the video, and make wise choices. Alright, okay, bye.